The Palestinians have been living under one of the most brutal, longest military occupations in the world and have been denied their basic rights. And Trump's so-called peace plan does nothing to address that. When it comes to the issue of Palestinian self-determination, there's one line. It says, we recognize Palestinian self-determination and statehood as the aspiration of the Palestinian people. If you recognize something as an aspiration but not as a right, you have no obligation to grant it. And the message from Israel, if you listen to Netanyahu, is that there will be no recognition. And he has the full backing of the U.S. in that. And that's not just a Trump thing. This has been bipartisan U.S. policy for decades. This isn't about Hamas. Even if Palestinians are the most pragmatic, docile people in the world, Israel would still insist, as they always have, on their self-declared right to steal their land because it's a Jewish supremacist state. After October 7th, Hamas offered Israel to release all the civilian captives in exchange for Israel not attacking Gaza. Israel had no interest in that because October 7th gave them the opportunity to take care of the Gaza problem. That's why Israel abandoned its own captives.
But the truth, I mean, you talk about a brutal occupation, and I don't disagree, but there's also been a brutal occupation of the Palestinian people by Hamas themselves. They have sacrificed Palestinian lives so brazenly and callously as they themselves ran to hide in their tunnels, leaving civilians to be murdered. Then, you could argue the brutal occupation has worked with both. You could say, yeah, the Israelis have had a brutal form of occupation over the Palestinians, but so has Hamas.
I see things differently, Piers. Hamas won the elections, you're correct. What happened immediately? Israel put Gaza under a complete siege to the point where Israel was counting the calories inside Gaza that it would let every Palestinian in Gaza consume without having a full-blown starvation crisis. Hamas leaders started talking about accepting a long-term truce with Israel. Then they started even saying we'd accept a Palestinian state in just 22% of our historic homeland, the West Bank, Gaza, East Jerusalem. What did Netanyahu say? He said there'll never be a Palestinian state because Israel insists on keeping these major West Bank settlement blocks full of fanatical settlers from Brooklyn, where I am, who terrorize Palestinians and steal their land and water. So Hamas also tried nonviolent protest with the Great March of Return. That was a massive march of people who went to protest nonviolently, as all people around the world told Palestinians to do. What did Israel do? They gunned people down with US-made weapons, maiming people, killing journalists, killing nurses, killing disabled people, and telling Palestinians, no matter what you do, we're going to control you and make your lives impossible. That's the context in which October 7th happened.